Okay, hello, HTM. Give me,
Hey, network issues. Is this Matt that's slow, or is it me that's slow?
I don't know. Issues.
It's somebody.
I'm gonna dive right in. My side looks fine,
Okay.
so hopefully the recording is fine.
Okay.
If you continue to have issues, wave your hands around or something. So anyway, welcome to the HTM Hackers Hangout. It is May 6th. I have a few short things probably on my agenda to talk about, and then we'll just open up the floor to who or whatever we want to talk about. So the first thing I wanted to mention was events this year, as far as Numenta sponsored events or events that we put on. So as you probably know, 2 hackathons a year. We've done that for 3 years in a row. So I think we've done 6 or 7 hackathon-like events. This year we're taking a hiatus. We're not going to have a workshop or a hackathon this year. I know that might disappoint some of you, and I apologize for that. But the emphasis is changing a bit. What we are trying to do is
Can hear.
I think it's Matt. I can hear you fine, David.
Oh, okay. Well, I should mute myself.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
Now I can.
Now you can. All right. So I was saying, right, we're trying to sponsor a big hackathon in the Midwest coming up soon, which would get us in front of a lot of people, which would be great. I don't know how that's going to go because it's expensive. When you have hackathons with like thousands of people, it costs tens of thousands of dollars to sponsor. That's starting out. Like that's the entry point to sponsor. And I don't know if we really want to spend that much money on a sponsorship. And we're trying to do this event. So the good news is we probably will still hold an event every other year or so, but not so often as we have been. So sorry to say that, but I still want to get the community together. I'll probably be having more smaller meetups, trying to encourage people to start meetups around the globe this coming year. And
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh no.
hi, Scott. I wanted to. So that's all about events.
And we haven't heard you. You cut off for about 20 seconds there. I'm sorry.
Oh, that sucks.
Maybe,
I can't tell at all on my end.
maybe the video catches it when it happens.
I'd hope so. All right. Well, I was trying to explain that we're not having a workshop or a hackathon this year.
You heard that? Okay.
All right. And if you want to complain about it, or I'm happy to discuss it with you on the mailing list or wherever. So that's sort of a bummer, but it gives us an opportunity to work on other things and try and offload the work and logistics it takes to put on events people. But we can still try and take advantage of the exposure we would get with an event like that. And honestly, after having 6 or 7 hackathons, we get typically the same core group of people, it's great because that gets the community sort of go on. Is this all breaking up?
Yeah, we hear you again now. We heard you say, I guess, the community, and then it stopped.
Hey, Marcus, maybe you should mute your video, because
Sure.
I mean, not mute the video, but
Are you up the bandwidth?
Are you hearing me okay, David?
No, I'm not. It's cutting out for me at the same time it's cutting out for Marcus. But I'm
Okay.
wondering whether, the bandwidth is taken up by the video.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try one thing real quick. On the fly AV debugging. I can tell my Wi-Fi hub to give this computer I'm using priority, which is what I'll try and do.
And then just keep an eye on our icons because we'll unmute them when you disappear.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take priority. Hopefully this will help. It's rare we have one of these Hangouts and we don't have some type of AV issue like this. So it's par for the course. Anyhow, okay, so I'm done talking about events. I also want to talk about and this is not to clear the air. This is a status update. So we want to get in the Numenta Anomaly Benchmark, or NAB, as we always call it. We want to get a presence there from HTM Java as well. We have NewPick running the old temporal pooling. We don't have one for temporal memory yet. HTM Java, if you remember, has the temporal memory algorithms, and so Lewis, one of our engineers, was kind enough to set up the infrastructure for that and has HTM Java in a PR for NAB, but we don't have the parameters tuned properly yet. The reason being that we need temporal memory parameters for that. So the right way to do this, I think, is to at some point get a temporal memory algorithm inside of NAB, and then we could probably just copy and paste the model parameters or the network parameters, whatever, from that implementation over into to set up the HTM Java. So all the infrastructure for getting that NAB detector, we call them detectors, in place is done. It's just the parameter tuning that needs to be done. So that is work that sort of on the back burner. We don't have someone working on that right now, but we hope to. But I wanted to mention that because that would be great to have temporal memory and HTM Java running in NAB at some point soon. Next topic I have, and I'm just being transparent about this. I'm thinking about moving all of our mailing lists off of Mailman onto a forum software called Discourse, which is produced by the Stack Overflow guys, Stack Exchange. If you're on the NewPick Theory mailing list, you've seen the discussion that we've started having. I want to try and better organize the conversations that are having NewPick Theory, what context every conversation is being discussed within. And honestly, I'm sick and tired of mailing lists, of these mailman, and it's just, I mean, this is 1970s, 80s technology we're using for communication. And once I actually talked or emailed back and forth with Jeff Atwood and his team about this Discourse, and they gave us an instance for free because they're open source. And I had a chance to try it out over the past week. I've had it for a few months. I just haven't had time to try it out. And I tried it out, and I completely head over heels in love with this forum software. So the next step is to convince Jeff. If I can convince Jeff, then we will almost positively switch over to this forum software. But Jeff's a hard sell on any change to a new technology like this. So we'll see. I can't promise anything, but if it were up to me entirely, we would have already switched. So just
when I looked at
You're good. You're good.
when I was looking at it, it looked like you can basically just subscribe and then you'll get an email for every new topic, and you can basically use it just like a mailing list. Is that correct?
just respond with a series of
Scott?
clicks and guffaws.
After Scott stopped, we didn't hear anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we don't
Scott,
hear.
start over.
Okay.
Can you use it just like a mailing list and get emails when there's a new topic and respond by email?
Yes.
Okay, so then I don't think Jeff will have any problem
I hope not.
because it's a one-time setup and then nothing's different for him.
Yeah, so I plan on setting him up so he's only watching the Nupic Theory discussions, the Nupic Theory category. It'll be called a category in this. And hopefully I'll get him set up next week and he'll be happy. Honestly, I hope I convince him to use the interface because the interface is really nice.
Well, I think it's really important that we support normal email. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that.
I do too. I do too. That was one of my criteria when looking for forum software.
Okay.
So can it be set up so that you have a privileged submitter that can, take a comments on a topic and just send an email to the mailer in the background just to archive them, and then that way, and no one could have access to it except this whatever privileged process, and then if anything ever happens, you could always just refer to that.
I'm not following you, David.
So in
Are you
other
talking
words,
about just a way to archive topics for posts?
yeah, I am, but actually I'm talking about having a automatic, whatever receives the submission on the discourse end would write an email, the same topic header and everything, to the mailing list. And right,
no,
and
no,
then,
I don't want to do that.
oh, okay.
I mean, I probably could, but I don't want to. I think I'll probably just freeze and archive the mailing lists as we transfer over. So those will stick around; they'll be archived forever, and then I can get everybody's email off of those, and I will send them all invitations to join the new forum. And they will have to go to the forum and sign up, and then I'll probably set default so they get emails. I got to figure this all out, but hopefully they can
Right.
just go set it up one time if they want to use email, and then that's it.
But there'll be measures to prevent like loss of any kind of data or
Yeah, there should be no data loss.
or and we'll always have access to it. So if like Stack Overflow goes out of business or something happens like that, or Microsoft takes them over,
I'll confirm with them what they're. I mean, in the admin UI, they have an interface for backups, so maybe it may be my responsibility to set up backups to start happening. But right now, it is all running on their servers for free for us. But we should. I'll take a note right now and make sure that I get backups set up properly. All right. Anything else about forum mailing list stuff? Okay. So a couple things about, well, one thing about my priorities. I've been thinking a lot about what my priorities and my role is for the community for right now. What's the best thing for me to do right now for Nupic, HTM Java, HTM period, and the community. I'm going to be backing away from sample applications for a while. If you know me, for years, I'm always working on at least one sample application of HTM, putting together some tutorial or something. Right now, I have 2 or 3, and I'm going to put those all on hold and focus on project management and processes. That's something that I've been neglecting for a while. And when I'm talking about GitHub issues, issue tracking, organization, making sure we have a decent roadmap, and pull request monitoring, that sort of stuff.
You cut out.
Yeah.
A plan to beef up our YouTube channel.
Matt, you
And
cut out right after pull requests.
that was a long time ago.
Sorry.
Okay, so process stuff is what I was talking about, getting project management and process stuff for NUPIC and associated HTM projects, keeping better track of what's going on right now in the community, making sure the issues are getting addressed, making sure that pull requests are being addressed, all that stuff. I haven't put as much effort as I needed to over the past probably 3 to 6 months on that, so I'm going to put back effort in that direction this year. And the other thing is I'm going to put a lot of emphasis this year on public education about HTM on YouTube by making these videos, the HTM school stuff, and there's going to be more YouTube videos. I have a schedule of videos we're going to be putting on our YouTube channel over the next 3 to 6 months. Includes not only HTM school but a couple of other types of series. I'm going to be interviewing you, David Ray, next week, a week from today. And we're still having these HTM Hacker Hangouts once a month. So these are all sort of parts of our YouTube offering on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to continue working on those because they're getting a good response and people are asking for more. And they take a considerable amount of time, honestly. Not just editing and recording, but setting up all the script and me doing the research and figuring out, making sure that I'm not saying things that are stupid and wrong. Takes a lot of time. So, okay, that's all I had to say. I've taken up 20 minutes of your time. Sorry. Let's move along. Hopefully you guys heard me.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Let's go to the office first to see if anybody on the Numenta team has anything they'd like to talk about or address.
Just so you know, everyone here who is like Alex, me and Marcus, this is Scott, Marion, and then Austin.
Who's that napping in the corner?
It's the great bearded one. So it's funny. I've told you guys this, but so I went through and did a thumbnail treatment on our YouTube videos because I went through like some of the YouTube creator series, and they told me the right way to do thumbnails, and I changed all of our Hacker Hangout thumbnails to things I thought were more interesting, and one of them just has a picture of Austin's bearded face, and it says Austin is mad, and people really watched that a lot to figure out why this scary-looking bearded guy was mad. So now I know how to do clickbait.
Yeah, Matt, if you include my my image on your HTM school videos with the same title, we could talk about what do you call it? Sparsity.
Oh God! You know what? Do we want to have that conversation?
Well, we don't need to. I mean, the conversation should be over by now, but I'm just.
So here's another reason Austin's mad. By the way, we keep a list of things on our internal wiki of things that Austin disapproves of, and one of the highest ones is that on my in my that I know of right now is the term sparsity, which really refers to density. How many bits are on in an array? And what?
No, sparsity has a very specific definition. It's the opposite of what you just described.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, but
so
the number 2% does refer to the on bits and not the off bits. It's true.
Yeah. So we
No, it's fine. Just let me talk.
It's going to be this topic.
I mean, I'm used to being right and nobody following my advice.
Oh gosh.
I think sparsity is a more powerful communication concept though than density.
No, there's nothing wrong with the word sparsity. But we don't need to talk about it now.
All right, Matt, you're moving again.
I recommend we don't talk about it ever again. Hi, Aaron. I think you're muted. If you want to talk, you'll.
Yeah.
Well, you're not. You're not muted, but I can't hear you. So there's a mic problem. I could tell by his facial expressions he's surprised and a bit worried.
Can we get some captions scrolling across the bottom?
Oh.
Well,
No, not now. All right, you keep working on your mic. When I hear you, I'll let you know. In the meantime, we'll move to David. See if he always has something to say.
let's see. What I have to say is I'd like to hear from Marcus.
I figured this was coming. So, I don't know, Scott might be interested in this conversation as well. So he's bringing me up because I just changed the C++ temporal memory to be faster. It uses a different way it walks the segments and everything. So it's a lot faster, and we haven't made that change to the Python version yet, and that's why David is bringing this up. So our plan is to eventually do that, but I'm not currently. That's not what I'm doing today. I'm curious what you have to say on this topic, David.
Well, I mean, not much. I know you guys have your priorities, and I probably have been heard from enough this week, so I just wanted to see if I could get Scott to grin. What do you mean? So, are you talking about the applicability of the algorithm to a Python implementation? Are you talking about whether applying a segment walk type iteration over the constructs will work as well in Python as in C++?
Definitely will work. It's just the question of because right now our NuPic core temporal memory, the C++ one, hits the random number generator in a different order than the Python one, and we're not treating it as the priority one thing to solve right now, and that's just kind of the snapshot of today, of May 6th.
Right. Well, however it plays out, I'm in favor of it because it'll be more efficient. And like I said before, when I first ported the TEM, I noticed that there were opportunities to do something like this myself. And as long as you guys vet it, then all I do is make sure that the tests produce absolutely the same output, except the RNG things. I have to do some extra stuff that I can't have in the tests over a long period, but I can play around with them to make sure that I'm getting the same output. And in those places where the RNG isn't an impact, I do have the same output. So as long as you guys get the Python version, as long as it's is up to your standards, and you guys can get it, you guys have it working as you like it, then I have no problem with it. So, and I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how it goes too, because I haven't broken open the C++ yet. So, and I know it's going to be cool. So.
Speaking of RNG, I think this you might appreciate this. Hold on.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, a little geek humor. Okay, I'm done. I saw that on Twitter.
The problem is that there are multiple interpretations of the Bible. What I'm saying is that, I mean, you have the Mersenne algorithm, and it's supposed to be the same, but even when you use the get int and not any of the more obscure methods in the different languages, there are floating bit opportunities for differences in the output too. I noticed that even when I could get it to work exactly like the Python version, there were points where I just wasn't normalizing the bits, and I start to get variance. So it's just weird. You can't really do it cross unless I could I don't know, get a DLL or something and do it natively and just use yours. I don't know. But we should all use, no, maybe not. I was just thinking of ND for Java.
I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time because connectivity is so.
We could hear you, David, so you were on the video. No, we can't hear you, Aaron.
Yeah.
You look good, though.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Now you can. Okay.
Was I talking to myself just now?
No, we can hear you talk about RNGs for a while.
Sorry about that.
So any other conversations you want to have, we should follow up on the mailing list. And
I know, just network is.
We're doing is just talking about the network.
I know.
All right, guys. Call it a day. Happy Friday, and we'll see you guys on the mailing list.
All right, see you, Matt.
See you guys.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Hanging up.